Very good morning to everyone. And let me begin today's talk with this opening thought that most people listen to reply and few listen to understand. So I want you to think about the last meaningful conversation you had. Could be yesterday, it could be last week. And then just think, while the other person was speaking, were you truly with them or were you nodding on the outside? While inside, you're already preparing your reply, planning what to cook for dinner, or remembering that you forgot to pay the electricity bill. Don't worry, no one is judging you. Because honestly, we are all guilty of this. Every single one of us. We live in a world where everyone is talking and almost no one is listening. We have WhatsApp groups with 200 members where 198 people are sending messages and maybe two are reading them. So today we are going to work on one of the most underrated and most powerful skills a human being can have. That we are going to talk about active listening. And no, it's not just about keeping quiet while someone speaks. It's so much more than that. So here is an image I want you to carry with you today. Just imagine someone is pouring water into a cup and you are holding the cup. And now if you keep moving the cup around, tilting it, pulling it away, putting your own bottle on the tap while they are still pouring, what happens? Yes, the water spills. The pouring is wasted. Now, listening is like holding a cup steady while someone pours. So every time we interrupt, every time we jump in with our own story, every time we start mentally drafting our response while they are still speaking, we tilt the cup. And the conversation, it spills. So the person stops pouring, not always out loud, but inside they think, why bother? They're not really listening anyway. And slowly, people stopped sharing with us. Not because they don't trust us, but because they've learned that we are not a safe cup to pour it. That's a painful thing to be without even knowing it. And let me tell you that harms relationships in a big way. So let me tell you about Kavita ji. She's a senior HR professional, experienced, empathetic, always busy. One evening, her 16-year-old daughter comes to her room and says, Ma, I'm feeling really stressed about my exams. Kavita immediately says, ha, I know, but you have to study harder. When I was of your age, I used to manage studies and household work. Have you revised chapter 6 yet? I'll make a schedule for you. Her daughter looks at her for a second, says, It's fine, Ma, and leaves. Kavita thought she helped, but her daughter didn't come looking for a schedule. She came looking for someone to hold the cup steady. And Kavita, without meaning to, tilted it. The advice was good. The timing was wrong. The listening never happened. And let me tell you about Meena ji. She's at her neighbor Sushma ji's house for evening chai. So Sushma ji begins sharing something that's been weighing on her. A small but real tension with her son-in-law. Now, before Sushma ji can even finish her second sentence, Meena ji says, Arey, मेरी भी सुन मेरा दामाद भी ऐसा ही है एक बार क्या हुआ हमारा पूजा का दिन था और उन्होंने और blah 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 and just like that the conversation has been hijacked. Sushma ji sits with a chai going cold quietly waiting for her turn that will never come. So Meena ji is not a bad person. She's warm, social, well-meaning, but she confused sharing with listening. She thought connecting her experience was empathy. Actually, it was a redirect. Sometimes the most loving things we can do is simply stay quiet and stay present. And then there is Suresh, solid man, problem solver by nature. His wife, Vanita, comes to him one evening and says, I'm just feeling very exhausted lately, like nothing is going right. Suresh immediately says, Okay, तो कल से जिम जाना शुरू करो. मैं आपके लिए शेड्यूल बनाता हूँ. और हाँ, फोन थोड़ा कम यूज करो. नींद खराब होती है. Anita looks at him, sighs and says, Leave it. Suresh is baffled. He thinks, I gave her solutions. What went wrong? But what went wrong is that Anita didn't come for solutions. She came to feel understood. She came to be heard. And in the 45 seconds between her opening her heart and Suresh opening her advice column, that chance was missed. So the solution was not the problem. The listening was the solution. So what does active listening actually require? So let me give you four things to remember. Yes, if you want, you can note them down. One, full attention, not half attention while scrolling, not one eye on the TV, not mentally composing your grocery list. Full, undivided, eyes on them attention. This alone is rarer than you think and more powerful than any advice you could give. Number two, no interruptions. Let them finish. Even if you already know what they are going to say, even if you disagree, even if you have the perfect response ready, hold the cup steady. Let them go completely. And number three, ask clarifying questions, not to challenge them, not to redirect yourself, but to understand them better. Simple questions like, what do you mean by that? Or how did that make you feel? Or even just tell me more. These three words, tell me more, are among the most generous things you can offer another human being. And four, reflect back. Once they've spoken, summarize what you have heard, not to show off, but to make them feel truly received. Say something like, so if I'm understanding correctly, you're feeling overwhelmed because, and watch what happens. Watch their face soften. Watch them say, ah, exactly. And that moment, when someone feels truly heard, is one of the most quietly profound gifts one human being can give another. So this week, let's do our reflection exercise, and I would like to call it the active listening drill. So I want you to have one 5-minute conversation with someone you care about, your spouse, your child, a friend, a colleague, anyone. But this conversation has three rules, and they are non negotiable. Rule number one, no interrupting, not even to agree, not even to say ha ha. Let them speak until they are completely done. Number two, no advice unless they specifically ask. Your job is to listen, not to fix. And number three, no stories about yourself. This is not the moment to say, oh, same thing happened to me. This 5 minutes belongs entirely to them. So only listen with your full self. And when 5 minutes are over, ask yourself one question honestly. Did the person feel heard? Yes. Not, Did I say the right things? Not did I give good advice? Just did they feel heard? You can even gently ask them, do you feel like I understood what you were trying to say? The answer, whatever it is, will teach you more about your listening than any book ever could. So there's a beautiful line from Rumi that I keep coming back to. Silence is the language of God. All else is poor translation. Let me say that again because it's a beautiful line. Silence is the language of God. All else is poor translation. But I'm not saying stop talking. Life would be very dull and very lonely if we all went silent. What I'm saying is this: within every conversation, there are sacred pauses, moments with the right thing to offer is not a word, but your complete, unhurried presence. When you truly listen to someone, not to reply, not to fix, not to one up, but simply to understand, you are giving them something that money cannot buy and technology cannot replicate. You're telling them you matter, your words matter. I'm here. So, the greatest gift you can give someone is your full attention because attention is just love made audible. So, here is your one call to action this week: have a 5 minute conversation where you do nothing but listen. No advice, no interruptions, no redirecting to yourself. Just hold the cup steady and let someone pour. Do it once. Show how it changes the room. And just see, experience yourself and see how it changes the relationship and see how it might even change you. So, with that thought, thank you. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Thank you.